Good morning. My name is Tim from Plugged Into Leadership, your outlet for leadership success. I am so glad that you have decided to join us this morning on either Facebook Live, you may be tuning into the podcast or checking us out on YouTube. I am excited to introduce my guest. I'm so glad to have this person on. He has been an influence in my life from afar. I've listened to his podcast for years, dove into the back catalog, and I am ecstatic to have executive coach Tom Henschel. He's a podcaster, as I said, with the look and sound of leadership. And you can find Tom at essentialcom with 2ms.com and check out his stuff there. Tom, welcome to Tea with Tim.
Thanks, Tim. I'm really glad to be here.
All right. So I got my Tea with Tim mug and my Earl Grey this morning, and Tom has his mug there with his water. Yeah. But we're moving on because this is great. So I'm excited that you're here, Tom. I have appreciated your insight into things and listened to your show, waiting for that new episode to come out on the first Thursday of the month because it has been so valuable for me. So I appreciate you. People have asked me the question, what has helped me grow? And one of the things that has helped me grow is listening to your show and just, again, having conversations with you, emailing you. We've emailed back and forth a few times and had a few conversations. So I appreciate you and who you are and what you've done in your leadership.
Great. Thanks. I'm so glad. That's terrific.
Okay. Awesome. So tell me, who do you coach? What are some of the things that you do as an executive coach? Tell the audience what that looks like for you.
Well, the name of the podcast is The Look and Sound of Leadership, and that tends to be what I'm known for. So I coach mostly in corporations. I coach at the executive level, and the look and sound of leadership in corporations tends to be executive presence or kind of smoothing over damaged relationships or maybe managing your boss or managing your team. So that's what I do.
That's fantastic. I know that one of the most recent episodes you did was on 360 Leaders. You've talked about that with Dave Stachowiak from Coaching for Leaders.
Right.
It's a great resource. I would check out that episode if you haven't. Go on to the Look and Sound of Leadership podcast and listen to the 360 pod. One of the things that I want to say before we go to the next question is the way that Tom does his podcast is unique, and its uniqueness makes it so powerful. And so I won't give it away, but it's very unique. You need to take a listen to how he does his podcast, which is unlike any other podcast that I've ever heard. And one of the reasons it's so powerful. So that's another plug for your podcast.
Thanks.
So when you transitioned, you used to be an actor, you went to Juilliard, you had a background in acting, and then you transitioned from that into from doing a coaching. So what was one thing that really helped you grow and kind of make that transition in your leadership and coaching? What was one thing that you kind of worked on that really, gave you a good boost in that?
A fantastic mentor. She was great, and she really kicked my ass. So she forced me to find my voice because I was a little tentative, and she was just great. She taught me how to coach, but she also really helped me kind of come of age. So having a mentor made all the difference to me.
That is awesome. Having a mentor is great. We've talked about that a few times on the show, talked about the difference between coaching and mentoring. So having a mentor is great. Having a coach is great. They're slightly different. You can check out, if you search in the back catalog on Tea with Tim for coaching versus mentoring, you can find a couple episodes where we talk about that. And I think, Tom, you've talked about that as well on your show, haven't you?
Yeah.
Great. So the last question that I have is, man, imagine the person that is, maybe transition into a new role. Maybe you just got hired at an organization, or you went from being kind of a doer, a sales guy, or just kind of hanging out. And then you had to transition into more of a leadership role where you're kind of leading people and you may not have any confidence. What advice would you give for someone to help them build confidence in their new role, their newfound leadership role?
I think it has to do with getting real. So here's what I mean. I think on the way home every day, you're going to kind of go, how did I do today? And then get real. Don't just beat the crap out of yourself because, that's your tendency. And don't imagine everything was fine because that's not true either. So I think you need to be able to assess and be realistic. And I think it's true whether you're, parenting or whether you're thinking about your boss or thinking about your direct reports, which is you need to be able to kind of go, how am I really doing? So the confidence, I think, often comes because we're worried we're going to make a mistake. Guess what? You're going to make a mistake.
Mhm.
Well, are you going to learn from your mistakes, or are you just going to punish yourself, or are you going to ignore them? I think the tension comes from when we're not in reality with ourselves.
Wow, that's great. And being able to reflect on some of those things, admitting that we're going to fail, and so we can fail forward, that is awesome. Tom,
Yeah.
thank you so much for all that you have done in my life and my leadership and mentoring and coaching from afar and the conversations that we've had. And do you have a favorite tea that you like to drink?
I do. It's
What is it?
it's it's I don't know if it's national or not, but it's from a restaurant here called the Good Earth, and it's this spicy tea, and I totally love it.
The spicy tea. That sounds good. I'm
Yeah.
gathering, tea types. So if you, as a listener or as a viewer, have a favorite tea that you like, feel free to leave it in the comments or write a review with your favorite tea on it if you're on iTunes, or leave it in the comments on YouTube what your favorite tea is, and I'll continue to check them out and try them and let you know in my Tea with Tim mug. As always, if you share this episode, leave a review, write a comment, you will be entered into a free leadership resource drawing that happens every single Friday. And I just want to continue to put things in your hands that help you grow as a leader. And one of the things that you can do is check out Tom's podcast, The Look and Sound of Leadership. Tom, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.